Good morning and welcome to Backyard and Beyond. This morning we're visiting with Mike Cormack down by Massena. Good morning to you, Mike.
Good morning.
Mike, we have a meeting coming up. The Pride Group has a meeting coming up in Massena, and we want to talk a little bit about that. But I thought first, let's talk a little bit about Massena in case some folks haven't been down around there very long. How long have you lived in Massena?
Well, this is my ninth year of teaching school at what has been C&M Community Schools, and now after the vote in the past week will be the CAM schools, along with Anita officially, after quite a long period of whole grade sharing. This would be my 8th year of living in Massena. I'm originally from the Fort Dodge area in northern Iowa, lifelong Iowan, but came down this way when I had the opportunity to teach social studies for C&M, and now, like I say, in the whole grade sharing situation, and now the combined school of CAM.
So recently, that whole thing went pretty smoothly. I know there were a lot of bumps in the road over the years, like there is with any schools. So I think, thank goodness, that all went pretty well here in that last vote. So.
Yeah, I think it was one of those situations where I believe the final vote was about 90% in favor, which is in any election pretty solid, and it was that way, fortunately, on both sides of the district, and I think that shows that people in the area have confidence in the schools and the working relationship that had been going on under whole grade sharing, and just wanted that to continue under a more permanent basis.
Great. Well, what do you like about Massena? I mean, Fort Dodge is a little bigger area, of course, than Massena. What do you see for the pluses for Massena?
Well, I did grow up and lived my life in Fort Dodge, and Fort Dodge has got wonderful people and is a good town too.
Sure.
My grandfather farmed his whole life out by Moreland, which is about 6 miles southwest of Fort Dodge. There's a lot of similarities between I think the people around Moreland and the people down here in Cass County. And even though I grew up in a town of 25,000, I spent a lot of time out in the farm. My dad was, I guess you'd call him, was a hobby farmer who lived in town but went out and farmed up through my junior year of high school. And then I spent a lot of time at the farm, and I think that there's a lot to be said for small-town, rural Iowa, and that could be said about a Moreland, a Massena, Anita, Cumberland, what have you. There's just, I think the plus of Massena is that very welcoming, nice people. For example, and it's not just unique to Massena, but my wife had some health problems, and there couldn't have been enough casseroles or knocks on the door or, people being friendly. What can we do? And, our town has the slogan of home of friendly people, and truly I think everybody looks out for each other, and it's just a place where I think the slogan fits. That's what I like about it. What I like about Massena, too, is that you can be enjoying during the week the benefits of a small town where neighbors know neighbors. It's a friendly place for people to be and a place to work. Yet, like much of the listening area that you've got, you're within easy driving distance of the Omaha and Des Moines metro area, too. So you kind of can have the best of both worlds. You can kind of live and work in your friendly community, and on the other hand, if you want the things that the larger towns have, you're really not that far away from that either. So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
About an hour or so, and you can be in a big city enjoying lots of things they offer. So, but
absolutely.
Now, let's talk about, Massena has some unique things for people to see and do. I mean, you have a great historical group that's just done a ton of work. You want to mention a few of those?
Well, I do teach 6th to 8th grade social studies, and each year we take our 6th graders down. I always call it the world's shortest field trip because we walk about 6 blocks downtown, and we do visit with members of the Historical Society who, at 6th graders are what you do in our state. They study Iowa history. Well, what better thing to do than to see a one-room schoolhouse that actually existed, or the old barber shop that's there that served as not only a place to get your hair cut, but kind of the community listening post of its day, or one of the historic Phillips 66 station that's there. that kind of, again, had a community purpose as well as a purpose of providing gasoline and auto services. So those are maintained in conditions where it looks like, as close as we could to when they were in operation, all those 3 sites. And a lot of community volunteers give their time to help do that. And I know just last year we received a grant for those sites to help with their upkeep and continued maintenance. And nearby as well, they put up a gazebo in kind of a green space that's in between all of that. So for the last 2 years, there's a place for people to just pull in and have a seat there. There's electrical hookup if people want to do a function there. And so that's unique to a town to be able to have, one, enough community people who care enough for a site like that, and two, ability to maintain history in that way. And they do have phone numbers on all of those buildings. If somebody does just drive to Massena and wants to take a look on the inside, call one of the numbers there, and somebody will be glad to come over, unlock it, and share that. Or, if a group wants to see those things for a function, they can plan that ahead of time, like I do with my field trips, and that's certainly something that can be done too.
Mm-hmm. We're visiting with Mike Cormack down in Massena, and if you haven't been there for a while, it's a good place to go and visit. Take if you have your family members come, you can have a little family reunion out there in the gazebo. Whatever, lots of opportunities there. And you also have a nice city library.
We do. And again, those are the efforts of a lot of folks in our community to raise funds for that. There's a little community room in the back, a meeting room for folks to utilize. They've got computer access, a children's reading area, videos to rent, along with periodicals and books to like any library have. But they took one of the aging buildings on the corner of our main street and converted it, modernized it. And I remember being with some volunteers and taking some sledgehammers, and I'm all thumbs, but I guess somebody could give me a sledgehammer and tell me to hit a wall, and I can do that.
You can do that.
And I can do that much. And when we were doing that and cleaning the site up, I thought, how on earth is this ever going to be a library? But fortunately, people had a good vision, and what you see today when you walk inside, it's as modern as any building. And that was thanks to some grants that people sought out, and community funds and fundraisers and all of that. So we have a lot of people that do a lot of that kind of fundraising. Example of that going on is I'm part of some local folks who are doing a lot of awareness and raising funds for next year. Will be Massena's 125th anniversary.
All right. I know you'll be doing celebrations, and like you said, it takes a long time to put that together. Yep. So let's talk now about you have a Pride meeting coming up this week. Sure. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Right. There's a series of meetings throughout the summer. I think I want to say it's been 3 years, perhaps it's been 4, where the Pride Group has had an idea called Community Builders, where the smaller towns of Cass County have hosted free, open to people, whether they're Pride members or not, to come and kind of look at the towns and have the towns showcase their communities, and they generally have a theme that goes with that as well. That'll be this Thursday, the 23rd, at the Cam Middle School. And if people come and see a wave of cars, we've also got a junior high volleyball game going on that night too. So, but I guess our building's being used for a lot of community purposes.
Yeah, that's great.
But that night there'll be a dinner. I think it's $7 for that. There'll be a meeting start at 5 o'clock, but whenever people can get there as far as their work, they're welcome to come. I think we'll serve probably about 6 o'clock with a meeting to follow. I know that the idea is that, again, that each town gets a chance to showcase some of the things that are going on in their community, and then in this case they've had a theme throughout the summer about telecommunications. How can we do have those great advantages in all of our small towns of living close to major metropolitan areas but having the ideal qualities of small town life. Well, with the internet connections that are out there today, how can Cass County, bring in some businesses and people, or grow existing businesses to take advantage of the fact that not only do we have a good small town life, but we actually have electronic capabilities that are pretty similar to really what you'd find just about anywhere in the United States. So
availability to the world, right?
That's right. If you
Yeah.
put your business anywhere, why not put it in Cass County
Yeah.
or Southwest Iowa?
Okay, and there'll be a couple speakers that evening and the supper, so get to the Cam Middle School about 5, and I think maybe they're doing one speaker before and then the meal and then another speaker.
Absolutely.
Great information. I've been able to go to a few in the past. They've been great information, so open to everybody. Get on down to Massena Thursday night.
That's right.
We want to thank you very much, Mike Cormack, for visiting with us about Massena and about the Pride meeting coming up. And
Well, thank you.
You bet. Until next time, here's a thought. Be careful reading the fine print. There's no way you're going to like it.